Before I show you how I install Davinci Resolve and Davinci Resolve Studio in Ubuntu 24.04.4 LTS version, let me give you some backstory and start with how to install Ubuntu alongside Windows on your laptop. For desktop users, you may try the same steps, but you may have to perform a few more steps to install specific drivers for your customized desktop hardware. The steps I walk you through in this video are extremely simpler today than how it used to be. As usual, this video is going to be a boring long video, so please refer to the chapter markings to jump to the specific chapters of this video you wish to watch. I have delayed my switch to Linux from Windows for so long because of the uncertainty of OS crashes and the nightmarish Davinci Resolve Studio installation process. In the past, while I was still trying to learn the basics of Linux by installing Linux Mint or Ubuntu or any other distributions, I faced a lot of crashes due to human error. Of course, this made me reinstall a fresh copy of Linux almost every single time when something goes south because I didn't know how to fix the issues for the most part. Google searches may only help you to a certain extent. I still am not confident how to fix things, but things have gotten better now. Those crashes made me paranoid to an extent that I feel the need to have Windows that I paid for as a backup, and that is what I will show you today in this video as well. Adding to these, officially Davinci Resolve Studio is made compatible with Rocky Linux of all distributions. Unfortunately, I wasn't successful in installing Davinci Resolve Studio in Rocky Linux on my computer, perhaps because of the limited driver supports of my laptop hardware. I also feel more comfortable using Ubuntu as there is so much support for it now, and it has become much more stable and easy to use, especially for folks like me who are switching from Windows to Linux. Something else I need to clarify here is the list of things you get using Davinci Resolve Studio over Davinci Resolve. What you're seeing here is just a fraction of features available for perpetual paid license. A lot more features are available on every page of Davinci Resolve Studio. Some features I use in almost every single project, like the AI voice isolation and live trim, are only available in Davinci Resolve Studio. After using the Davinci Resolve Studio for over 4 years, I can happily say that it is worth every penny you pay for it. I am not sponsored or anything, but I'm happy to recommend it as a one-time investment for the content creators, and I really appreciate Blackmagic Design for keeping it as a lifetime license rather than making it into a subscription service. Before moving on to the installation part, let me cover the minimum system requirements to use the software. While Linux distributions may be installed in almost any hardware, albeit varying performance, Davinci Resolve and Davinci Resolve Studio have a specific set of minimum system requirements. Both Davinci Resolve and Davinci Resolve Studio work best with Nvidia graphic cards, and having a RTX Nvidia card is extremely beneficial for Davinci Resolve Studio. I have installed Davinci Resolve Studio on my Ubuntu laptop with RTX 4090 mobile graphic card, and you can see there are a few seconds faster export speeds than Windows on my Linux for the same project. This may or may not be important for the people watching this video. In this video, I will be showing the Davinci Resolve installation on Ubuntu alongside Windows on a laptop that is at least 5 years old with a MX450 mobile graphic card. If you notice the latest information for the minimum system requirements on the website, you can see that Linux system required the most amount of resources for Davinci Resolve to function properly, even though the Mac system is mentioned to require the least amount of resources. In my experience, Davinci Resolve works best on a Windows system with Nvidia RTX graphic card. This minimum system requirements list is just for installation checks for Davinci Resolve and for it to be barely functional. To see if your computer is eligible or not, check the link in the description below and make sure your computer spec is higher than the minimum system requirements. Regardless of reasons for your switch to Linux, here are the steps to install Ubuntu alongside Windows. To install Ubuntu, a bootable USB drive loaded with Ubuntu OS is needed. So let me show you how to do that in this part of the video. Download the latest stable Ubuntu OS as an ISO file. Here in this case, Ubuntu 24.04.4 LTS is the most recent stable Ubuntu version as of making this video. Non-LTS versions are not as stable as the LTS versions. While the file is downloading, let's download Balena Etcher, which we will be using to make the USB drive bootable with the downloaded Ubuntu ISO file. I am using a 128GB USB drive, but a 32GB USB drive will do the job. By the way, all the links are down in the description below. Check for the latest versions of the software from their official websites before downloading from the provided links. Before opening Balena Etcher, make sure that the USB drive is inserted in the computer. Once the files are downloaded, open up Balena Etcher, click on Select Image, select the downloaded USB ISO file, click on Select Drive, choose the drive of the USB stick, click on Flash and go through with making the USB stick bootable with the latest version of Ubuntu. It will take a while. Once it is done, follow the next steps to clear up some space for Ubuntu installation on your hard disk. Since I'm installing Ubuntu alongside Windows, I'm deleting an empty partition on my drive. While installing Ubuntu, this empty partition will be automatically selected by the installer. Once the partition is made available, close all applications and restart Windows. While turning on the computer, you can enter the bootloader selection screen by repeatedly pressing the escape button for ASUS laptops. Other laptops may have different buttons to enter this screen. You may Google it to see which button you need to smash. Let's continue to install Ubuntu by selecting the UEFI boot device. It may take some time to load if you're using an older computer like me. While performing all these steps, make sure that your computer is being charged. From here, continue with the on-screen instructions. Choose your language, set accessibility in Ubuntu if any, otherwise skip by pressing Next. Select your keyboard layout. Connect to the internet to install necessary drivers while installing the OS. You will be prompted soon to choose if you want to install additional software for graphic card, Wi-Fi hardware, and media formats, or if you want to install them later. I suggest you let Ubuntu install them during the OS installation. Manually installing them later is a pain. Then choose Install Ubuntu alongside Windows Boot Manager. If you want to choose any of the other options, please make sure you know what you're doing and proceed. Create your account by entering your name, computer's name, username and password. Once done, click Next to proceed. Select your time zone and proceed. Now, review your choices and proceed. This is where the installation starts. Once it is done, hit Restart Now to restart the computer to enter into the installed Ubuntu. Remove the installation medium and hit Enter when you see this prompt in the smallest characters possible. The computer will restart now. Here you may enter the bootloader setup by pressing Escape and disable the secure boot. Save and exit to restart the computer again. While starting, unlike Windows, you will be greeted with GNU Grub options. Here we can see Ubuntu as well as Windows Boot Manager options. If you choose to enter Windows, you can enter the Windows Boot Manager. For Linux, we choose Ubuntu option, of course. You may either press enter on the option or choose to leave it as it is for a few seconds to enter into the menu. Once inside Ubuntu, after a few welcome steps, perform a system update and begin to download Davinci Resolve from their official website. While the Davinci Resolve is downloading, I downloaded and installed Brave browser and OBS Studio for obvious reasons. I faced some issues with OBS Studio, so I switched between the built-in screen recording software and the OBS Studio whenever it was functional, and therefore you would see some difference in quality. What I usually like to do is to read the instructions attached with the software by the developers. Here, in this case of Davinci Resolve, the instruction file is available as a .html file in the downloaded zip file. Double-clicking on the downloaded zip file will extract all the contents from the zip file, and you should be able to see a .run file and a HTML file in the extracted folder. The .run file is the actual Davinci Resolve package, and the installation instruction file is the .html file. This can be opened on any browser. You should be able to see this now. Scrolling down to the end, the document mentions for which Linux Davinci Resolve's ISO was made for. Even though it clearly is Rocky Linux, we will be installing Davinci Resolve in Ubuntu. Now at this point, we have already done point number 1 and 2 under installation instructions. Following through, Double-clicking on the installer package didn't take me anywhere, so here is what I suggest. Start with installing Nvidia drivers. The way I did worked at least twice, and so I'm suggesting you to do the same, using PPA and Ubuntu drivers. I will make sure to add all the necessary terminal commands in the instruction file in the Google Drive link in the description below. To install Nvidia drivers, we will be using the PPA and Ubuntu drivers method. Update the system, add the repository and update again. Then run Ubuntu-drivers auto-install command to install the best matched and tested drivers for the computer. You can let the computer be while it is downloading and installing the drivers. It will take a while depending on how fast the computer and internet speeds are. Once done, reboot the system. After rebooting, perform a quick verification using the command nvidia-smi. To install Davinci Resolve, let's start a terminal from the extracted folder so the path contains the installer file. Now let's follow the instructions document. Copy-paste the chmod command for the free version along with the command to run the installer. If you get the libfuse.so.2 error, a quick Brave search will show you the steps how to fix it. You may follow the same if you face the same error. Run sudo apt update and sudo apt install libfuse2. Also run sudo apt install libfuse2 t64 just to be sure. Once fixed, run the chmod command for the free version along with the command to run the installer. Most of the time, you may only get this list of libraries missing error. For that, perform the following as shown in the search here. Again, the commands you need to run are available in the document in the description below. Here in these steps, we install the libraries, skip the dependencies check and proceed. Copy-paste the command skip_package_check equal to 1 followed by /Davinci Resolve installation file name and hit enter. Now Davinci Resolve installer GUI windows will open up. From here, the installation is pretty similar to the Windows. Check I agree and proceed to install the software. Allow for the root access whenever prompted. Once the installation is completed, navigate to the Davinci Resolve icon and try double-clicking to open it. It may not open. In that case, we go back to perform the third step in regards to the installation steps. In this step, we use script to symlink the correct system libraries to start the Davinci Resolve. From the terminal in the installer package location, open the text editor Nano. Copy-paste the script as you see on the screen and save the file as fix-resolve.sh. You should be able to see a new file created in the same folder. Now we shall run fix-resolve.sh file from the terminal using these commands. We can go back to click on the Davinci Resolve icon to open and run it as we would do in Windows. That's it. We have successfully installed Davinci Resolve on Ubuntu. All these instructions are available in the link in the description below. Like I said, it has become so much simpler today and I'm happy about it. Hit like and subscribe to the channel if you feel like this video has helped you in any way at all. See you in my next video. Until then, peace.